Hey guys, I'm Finn. I'm based over here in the UK, in England. It's really good to be asked to do a guest slot on Paperboy channel because I think this is a great channel, bringing people together from all over the world. That's wonderful. I've chosen to talk about the topic of age issues. I'm an older trans guy. I came out at 37, I'm 42 now, and I do think there are kind of some key myths and some key issues around transitioning when you're older. I think the three main myths you hear are that no one will take me seriously because I'm older and just realising. Also, I'm too old to go through this, can I really go through this? And will testosterone work for me because young people change better on testosterone than older people? Right, let me just address the first myth. There is absolutely no evidence to suggest that older people transition slower than younger people. I think what's happening when people are kind of making this assumption is that young people are still changing, they're still growing up and changing anyway, and then you add testosterone to that and it accentuates that change. Whereas older people, we've kind of done all our changes anyway, so the testosterone is just masculinizing us. So it looks like we're changing less dramatically than the young people. But does that make sense? It's not the testosterone itself, it's just life changes anyway. So that's not an issue. If that's something that's stopping you transitioning when you're older, that's absolutely not the case. It is not true that young people change on testosterone and older people don't. We do. I have beard. Concerning people taking me seriously, that is a really common issue. The worry that, at this age I'm just saying I'm male. Will people then go, well, how come you didn't know sooner? And, my kind of understanding of that is that there really wasn't the words growing up to explain how I felt. It was only in the last kind of 5 odd years that I've started to kind of see trans things in the media and find things online that has made me go, that's what the issue is. And I was very concerned that people would think, well, how come you're only just realising? But that hasn't been the case at all. People have fully understood that, it's just, this is how it is. I didn't know. Young people now have access to much more information, which I think is why they're finding out earlier than us older people do. The third myth is one that really concerns me, the I'm too old to transition, I can't go through this, it's just too much. And if that's truly how you feel, fine, but let me tell you, you're never too old to be happy. That is my motto. Whatever you want in life, who's to say you're too old? It doesn't matter. You can say that and you're just going to keep getting older. I'm too old. Well, you've still got your life to live. No one knows how much longer they've got. So it's just going out there and getting what you want. This is your life. If you need to transition, you're never too old. The issues around general stuff in kind of being older and transitioning are things like negotiating my past self, finding support around transition, and kind of health issues. Now, I think negotiating the past is a really big one for us when we're older because we come to transition with a lot more baggage in terms of extended family, often have children, partners, our parents are that much older, maybe frail, things like that. So it's that much harder to kind of come out and then to kind of leave who we were behind us. I think a lot of young people want to be stealth. I don't like the word stealth, but let's just use it for the sake of this. So I think for us older guys it's a lot more difficult to be stealth because, my mum's got lots of pictures of me growing up on the walls and around, and I don't feel right asking her to remove all those because, this is 42 years of having me, 37 years of having me as her daughter, and now just a few years having me as her son. So it's really hard to wipe out that big a chunk of time. I think when you're younger, it may well be easier to go, look, I'm 18, 19, can we put the family pictures away? And then you'll have loads more years to get new family pictures. So in that sense, your past self can be kind of put to one side. But I don't think it can with us. And if we do have kind of extended family, nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, all of that, asking them to forget a big chunk of our life is too much, and it's just not possible when you're older, I think, to be that stealth. And the other thing is in getting support when you're an older trans person. Now, most groups that are to do with coming out and what have you are for younger people, and they're usually for 13 to 25, at least they are here in the UK, and I'm well past that. So in terms of finding kind of peer-to-peer support, that was really, really difficult. I got a lot of help from young people on YouTube. It was so good to see that transition is possible and that people can go on and live happy lives. I needed to see that, but it was really difficult not being able to see anyone my own age. I wanted to find people that had transitioned at my age and see how they coped, and there are people out there. There's a great channel called FGM1 which is full of older guys, kind of 30 and above, and I got so much from that channel and connecting with people of all different sorts of ages, I mean right up to 70s coming out, you know, which is incredible. And that's where it really happened for me, because people got where I was coming from. So I'd say if you are older, then do that. Do seek out older trans guys to talk to. If you're on Facebook, there is both an older 30s group and an over 40s group. And plug into those. I mean, there's networks everywhere now, so it's really, really important that we do get support from our peers. And there are plenty of us older guys knocking about. Concerning health stuff, now I think this is a big issue, really, really big issue in going through hormone replacement therapy and going through surgery when you're older. There is more complications, the body does not respond as well or heal as well. I think it's really, really important to take extra care of yourself. I mean, I'm very, very careful. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I try and keep a clean as diet as I possibly can. I take extra supplements. Spirulina and vitamin C are my two go-to supplements. And I think you just have to be much more mindful around surgeries and hormones and being aware of the effect on your body. I've also noticed that my body just doesn't cope as well with some of the changes of testosterone. I noticed in early days I had a few problems with my ears, and one of my doctors kind of suggested it might well be that with all my voice dropping, everything changing in there, there just wasn't the room for things to grow, and so I was having these really blocked ears. And I've had other issues. I've had a back injury anyway, but I've got a few more issues with kind of joints and what have you, and I get trapped shoulders at times. And I do wonder if it's to do with, at my age, my skeleton's done its growing, and it grew to take the muscles of a woman, and now my muscles are much bigger. I wonder if my skeleton is under a little bit more stress here because it hasn't had time to adapt. I used to do weightlifting and running, and for the reason of these achiness, I've decided to stop all that and just be a bit more gentle on my body. So I do yoga and I do swimming, and that solved all of those issues. I just feel a lot more fit and my body is thanking me for it. I think my main issues around transitioning at this age are, don't let anyone stop you. Doesn't matter what age you are. If this is what you want to do, just do it. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Say what you didn't know sooner, it doesn't matter. It's your chance to be happy. Ignore the myths around transition. You will transition in the same way as everyone else does. It's all down to your genes, so how fast you go is down to that. Plug in with support with other older guys. Search on YouTube, search on Facebook. There's plenty of us out there. And think about the ways in which you might negotiate your past self and how you might move forward with your friends and family and partner, because especially with partners this is a really difficult thing. A lot of us older people are with partners already, and those partners have to go through transition as well. Some of us make it through, some of us don't. My partner and I are still working our way through it. He's also transitioning as well, which makes it a little bit more complicated. So these are the things that are unique to us as older trans guys in negotiating our transition and our new selves. So I hope that little insight from me helped. It's really lovely to come and be part of this channel, and I will see you again. Bye bye.